So, are you ready? Are you ready for some romance? Are you ready for some mourning? Are you ready for some Black Dagger Brotherhood? So, welcome to the DENIE book series. It's nice to meet you. I'm Christina, K-R-I-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books and talk about books. No special effects going on here. What you see is what you get. Very, very low anything. And I hope you will check out Friday's Star Trek recap. I recap the episodes of Star Trek Next Generation. Also, Friday afternoons is If Then. If you like this author, then maybe you like that author. And of course, Flashback Monday, where we talk about my favorite magazine and all the books in here. And lately, I've been getting a little carried away. And I literally did 70 books the other day for the review. And of course, my daily book reviews. And we are doing Victoria Thompson, Gaslight Mystery Series, Sarah Brandt and Frank Malloy. We are also doing James Patterson's Alex Cross series. And we are doing J.R. Ward, Black Dagger Brotherhood. And here we are with book 10. Can you believe it? We're already on book 10. And as you know, be aware of spoilers, 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 lots of spoilers. And remember, I love to share. Now, this book, we're still dealing with some issues that we've been dealing with a while. And there is the Bastards, the Brotherhood of Bastards, made an appearance a couple of books ago, and we've been slowly getting to know them and their attempts at throwing over the brothers and gaining control of the Glimera and the ruling council of the vampires. And we're also dealing with John, Matthew, and Zex, their new relationship ongoing as a mated pair. And we're also dealing with Quinn, BLAY, and Saxton again. They're still a trio, sort of, kinda. Quinn is still pining over BLAY. He won't tell BLAY anything. He won't admit to BLAY that he's in love with BLAY. It's very infuriating that he won't admit to BLAY that he's in love with him. Yes, ma'am. It's very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. And he's so much they keep looking at each other and they're longing for each other, and yet neither one of them will admit their feelings or anything. And it's enough to drive you absolutely bonkers. It really is. It's irritating as all hell. You know, I know it's a plot twist. I know it's part of the storyline. But, you know, this will they or won't they, this attraction, it's always so annoying. You watch these rom-coms. Do you watch the rom-coms? And, it's a little sunny in here. I think I should close the window a little bit. Just give me a sec. The window is closed. Oh well. It's a little sunny over here, isn't it? But anyways, so we're also having to deal with TOHR's issues. Now, let me see. TOHR is, as you know, grieving Wellsie. and he's been grieving her for a very long time. And he's also dealing with LASSITER, who is trying to get him to move on. And LASSITER will make a confession during this book, and that will encourage TOHR to try to move on. It will give him a reason or a motive to move on, should I say. So we also have Zex joining in and out of the fight. Wrath likes Zex. She's a very good fighter, and she can be useful. But John is very, very possessive of her, and he doesn't like her fighting. So she decides to go back to her position, security office management at the, not Screamers, but the other one. It used to be Zero Sum, but now it's the, forget what it's called. But so we have the band of brothers, the bastards, in town trying to take over the Vampire Society, like I said. And the guy decides that he's the head guy, Zokor. He decides that he's got an idea. He's gonna almost kill, not quite kill, but almost kill his second in command. And then he's gonna leave his second in command out on the streets to get found by the Brotherhood. And when the Brotherhood rescues him, there being the do-gooders that they are, they will treat and mend him, and then he will know where their location is. He will get their secret location, and he will report back to his brothers of bastards, and they will take the compound, and they will raid it. Now, I think there's not so much now, but they had started those training classes a while back, and we really haven't heard too much about that lately in these books. We've been dealing more with the relationships, but we will go back to those training classes. Those training classes will take prevalent in several of the future books. They will become totally focused on the members of the training class for future books. So, trying to figure out how to. TOHR is very, very upset. He's in his mind, and LASSITER is trying to push him forward, as I said. So, not Zokor, but one of his members, because Zokor apparently can't read. But one of his members sent a letter to the Glimera. Where'd it go? You want that? My old dear friend, I'm writing to advise you of my arrival in the city of Caldwell with my soldiers. Although we have long tallied in the old country, the dire events of the previous few years in this jurisdiction have made it impossible us to remain. In all good conscience, we have previously established our domicile. As you have perhaps heard from relations overseas, our strong efforts have eradicated the lesser society in the motherland, making it safe for our fair race to flourish in peace and security there. Clearly, it is time I bring this stout arm of protection to bear on this side of the ocean. The race here in these parts has sustained attainable losses, ones that mayhap could have been avoided if we had been here sooner. I ask for nothing in return for our service to the race, although I would appreciate the opportunity to meet with you and the council, if only to express my sincerest condolences at all you have borne since the raids. It is a shame that things have come to this. Commentary is sad upon certain segments of our society. With your kindest regards, Zokar. When Rev was done, he folded the paper up and disappeared it. No one said a thing. That was my reaction too, he muttered dryly. This opened the floodgates, everyone talking at once, the curses flowing rich and heavy. I understand the bastard without last night, Ras said. Tohrment spoke up. We engaged with Zokar, yes. So this is not a fake. No, it was written by someone else. He's illiterate. And they go into it. Assuming he kept the same ones on, there are a total of 5. 3 cousins and that porn star Zypher. So they're expecting that the 5 bastards can overtake the Brotherhood. Now, the Brotherhood has grown a little bit, but not by much as of yet. In future books, we will be concentrating on the training classes, like I said previously. All right, just hold on a second. Another driving force here, like I said previously, is LASSITER trying to help TOHR move on. And he glanced over his shoulder. You're an angel, right? You're supposed to be compassionate. I just accused a female who was raped until impregnated of being a whore. Do you honestly think I can handle being circle-jerked about my shelling right now? There are 3 places in the afterlife. The Fade, where loved ones are reunited. Donad, where the unjust go, and the in-between. Did you just hear what I said? Which is where souls get stuck. It's not like the other 2. Do you care? Because the in-between is different for everybody. Right now, your Shellen and your Young are stuck because of you. That's why I've come. I'm here to help you. Help them get where they belong. Man, this was a fine time to have a fucked up foot, TOHR thought. But he suddenly had no sense of balance whatsoever. Either that or the training center was spinning on the axis of the house. I don't understand, he whispered. You've got to move on, my man. Stop holding on to her so she can go. There's no purgatory if that's what you're suggesting. Where the F do you think I came from? TOHR cocked a brow. You really want me to answer that? No, not funny. I'm serious. You're lying. You have ever wondered how I found you in the woods? Why I stuck around? Have you asked yourself for a moment why I'm wasting my time on you? Your Shellen and your son are trapped, and I was sent here to get them free. Son? Yeah, she's carrying a little boy. TOHR's legs went out from under him at that point. Fortunately, the angel jumped forward and caught him. And he tells TOHR that Wellsie can't move on because she's completely 100% stuck because of him. It's his fault. He's holding on to her and he's grieving her so badly because he punished himself for a year. He just laid in that cave and tortured himself and not ate and dwindled down to bones. And the LASSITER came along and he's trying to help TOHR move on. And it's just not working. And LASSITER is trying really hard. And we get this new person. And I don't like the fact that her name is No One. I don't like the fact that that's what they call her. She has a past with TOHR. She knew Wellsie somewhat, I gather, in the last book. We got her little bit of past in the 16 or 1700s with TOHR and Darius, and how she birthed Zex. She is Zex's mom, and how she birthed Zex, and how she was so ashamed of the stuff that she went through that she gave her child to Darius and TOHR to take care of. They gave the child up for adoption, which I think is wrong. They should have kept the child and raised her with them, but they didn't. And she was so ashamed of herself that she committed suicide and killed herself. But now she's been sort of kind of reincarnated, and that will be explained at the end of the book. That the whole reason for the lover reborn will be explained at the end, and then there's this light bulb moment and you're like, oh my god. So low tech me cut myself off in the middle of a sentence, go figure. So we just learned that the whole reason that LASSITER has been here and spent all that time with TOHR in that cave while TOHR is mourning and grieving for Wellsie, that he was sent here by Wellsie to help TOHR move on so she can move on. And he confesses about the sun bit. So TOHR wants proof of this particular thing. So impressive that the guy could still summon the energy to yell. And yeah, there was no maybe later after you recover option with the son of a bitch who could punch himself like that. No reason to pad either. The in-between is not really the jurisdiction of the scribe virgin or the maker. It's the maker's territory, and before you ask, that would be the creator of all things. Your scribe virgin, the maker of all of it. There's a couple ways of ending up there, but mostly it's because you won't let go or because someone won't let go of you. When TOHR was silent, LASSITER recognized the signs of the brain fry and took pity on the poor son. Placing a hand on the brother's shoulder, he said gently, breathe, come on, we'll do it together. Let's just breathe out for a minute. So his Wellsie is stuck in the in-between because of him, because he can't let go. So he's got to deal with that. And LASSITER has been bringing him no one. And like I said, I really do not like that particular term for her. In the meantime, Zokor has his injures his second in command and leaves him out in the field to be able to he gets picked up by the Brotherhood, and the Brotherhood mends him and tends to his wounds and even gives him a chosen to feed from, and then they let him go, and he's unable to tell his cohorts where he was. They hide the location, that the Brotherhood hides the location that well, but he does tell them that he was treated quite well. But Zokor is not going to give up with his mission here. And I lost my place. So let me just I have really lost my place when I lost the thing. So I'm sorry if I say this twice because I'm trying to remember where I was. So I just don't like that her name is no one. But we also have the QUINN BLAY Saxton thing. And I know it's a plotline situation. I know it's a plotline, but the fact that BLAY and QUINN, they gaze at each other, they want each other so badly that it hurts, and yet they won't admit their feelings for each other. So BLAY continues his relationship with Saxton. Now Saxton knows what's going on. Everybody in the effing world knows what's going on, except for BLAY and QUINN. They're hiding. Oh, that's fine, whatever. They're trying to be polite. Yeah, go have a good time. And while they're mourning each other, it's irritating. It's very frustrating to watch this go on. I know you've seen it in all rom-coms and soaps, and the writers use this terribly, where the people are attracted to each other and they want to blah blah blah, but they hesitate or they delay for this reason or that reason, or something comes up. There's always a little delay there, and this is really being stretched out. J.R. Ward is really good at stretching this out. But we also had Layla did the feeding on Zypher, and Layla is also the one that's been feeding the boys. Quinn and BLAY and them. So she's also been servicing the boys. But Zokor is still working to overtake the Brotherhood. And because they know there's a third party that comes into this book, and we've seen him before, but only in his dealings with Zex. Now this guy is dealing with the Brotherhood, and the Brotherhood sets up a meeting with this guy, and they go to meet with this guy who's totally a third party person, and Zokor and them ambush the brothers, and they shoot Wrath. Wrath gets a bullet, and Quinn, on his own, without telling anybody, goes and confronts Zokor and has a fight with him. And before things can get really bad, Zokor gives up and dematerializes with his buddies, and they retreat. So no one knows that it was Quinn doing the one-on-one with Zokor that saves the king until much later. But the king talks to TOHR. They have words together, and now that they know that it was TOHR and the guys that were coming after the king, TOHR asked the king to give him the duty and the obligation to kill Zokor. So Wrath proclaimed in the old language, Tohrment, son of harm, are you prepared to have prescribed upon you and you alone the death of Zokor, son of unknown sire? Said the demise occur by your hands and your hands only in retaliation for a mortal affront against me this previous night, if said affront can be proven due to Zokor's direct or indirect order. And he's like, I am so prepared, my lord. Elizabeth, blooded daughter of the Black Dagger brother Darius, mated of myself, your king, do you hereby agree to witness my grant should I design to bequeath it on this matter to this male, carrying forth the presentation of the moment unto all others, placing also your mark upon the parchment to commemorate this proclamation. And then he says to John, blooded son of Black Dagger brother Darius, also known by names John and Matthew, do you hereby agree to witness my grant should I die and bequeath it on this matter to this male, carrying forth the representation of this moment to all others, placing also upon your parchment to commemorate this proclamation? And everybody's like, yes, we'll do this for you. So they all proclaim that TOHR gets sole rights in killing Zokor. And they also, because it's been a fight between Zex and John, and the king wants Zex to be one of their soldiers. She's really good at fighting. She's a sympath. She has extra abilities, but John has issues with it. And so they discuss the issues back and forth between John and Zex most of the book. And then at the end, John agrees that she's got the best chance. Don't hang up at me. My cat just kicked my mouse. So they agree that Zex should be the one to try and do recon and try and locate the bastards. And now this book is 572 pages. And like I said previously, I do not like the fact that this chick was called No One. It bothers me the entire book. And it takes 47 chapters. And on page 370, he says his favorite season is autumn. so they will now call her by Autumn. I don't like that it took 47 chapters and 370 pages to come to this decision. Then the brothers go after Zokor, and they get in a fight, and they're in the process of possibly winning, possibly not, although it's an ambush. There's some other stuff going on. Some people get injured, but this is also the time that Autumn goes into her kneading, and Tor absolutely 100% says no. And I do not like this conversation at all. This is not why I'm with you. How would you know, Autumn? You're making a martyr out of yourself for centuries. You've been a servant, a maid, a laundress, and you've been with me for the last few months, which brings us back to my point about clinical insanity. How dare you judge my conviction, she hissed. You know nothing of what I think or feel. BS. You're in love with me. Don't bother denying it. You tell me in your sleep every day. So let's build a case. You clearly like to punish yourself, and know damn well the only reason I'm with you is to get Wellsie out of the Fade. How would you like that if you are on the rebound with somebody, or somebody's with you on the rebound, and they tell you, look, the only reason I'm with you is to get over that one. But I'm really not ready. If I have feelings for you, I'm really not ready to admit them at this juncture. And it was just really horrible. So then Layla confesses that when Zokor was injured in that fight with the brothers, that the brothers had to abandon because they had to get back to the compound for female reasons, Cypher used his connection to Layla to get a chosen to feed Zykor. And it's many, many months later, because like I said, the book covers an entire year, that she confesses to John and Blay and Quinn that she did this. And then they're like, well, if you did this, then you have his blood in your system, or he has your blood in his system, and you should be able to locate him. So between Layla and Zex, they're going to do some reconnaissance and get that going. And Tor also has a coming realization moment, and he starts selling all his stuff. And he has a situation. Him and Autumn split up. Whether they get back together or not, I'll leave that up to you. I've really messed this podcast up very badly. So if you're still with me after all this time, and I've repeated stuff a couple of times, please forgive me. But I hope you will enjoy this book, and I will hope you will continue with the series with me. But there are some heavy revelations at the end of the book in the last couple of chapters, and you will get the lover reborn. You'll have that light bulb moment at the end, and you're like, oh, okay, that explains everything, because both Tor and Autumn need to face some stuff in here, and Lassiter pays a big price for what he's done in this book. So please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you so much.